it's time to put the finishing touches on your best man speech. And make sure that it's written in your friendly and natural communication tone. When you use this technique I'm about to show you, you will accomplish two very important things. You will avoid wasting time editing, replacing, and tweaking your speech. You will commit to the speech you've created, which must be done before moving on to the practice section. Remember, if the audience senses an inauthentic tone in your speech, they will tune you out and stop listening. They might check their phones or start up a conversation with the person beside them. This technique will help you avoid a boring disaster and falling flat. Use the speak, record, tweak technique to make sure your best man speech is written in your natural and friendly way. Open up your speak, record, tweak technique summary, and let's go through the action steps together now. Using the same recording device you used in the speak right strategy, you're going to record yourself speaking once again. You will read your completed speech out loud twice, back to back. Then listen to the recording and make changes to any part of your speech where you do any of the following. If you improvise, ad-lib, or replace a word or phrase. If you stumble or mispronounce a word. If you sound as if you're using a formal tone. And if you sound uncomfortable or unnatural. When you are reading your speech and you stumble over a certain word or phrase, it's an important sign that you are reading something using your writing personality. Remember, your audience doesn't want to listen to that. Here's what to do to change it. If you improvise, ad-lib, or replace a word or phrase, try replacing the word or phrase in your speech with the one that you improvised. If you stumble or mispronounce a word, replace the word with a different one. Use Google to search the word plus synonyms to come up with an idea for a replacement. For example, you can Google search funny synonyms and you might change it to witty or comical. If you sound as if you're using a formal tone, try to visualize yourself speaking to a friend, but this time your friend is 10 years old. Change your tone or the words that you use to make your phrase or sentence sound more casual and simplified. And if you sound uncomfortable or unnatural, pinpoint the main idea by selecting words within a sentence or phrase. Here's an example of how to do that. I'll never forget the first time I met John because he was wearing a giant cowboy hat. Now let's pinpoint first time, saw, John, and giant cowboy hat. Using those words, come up with one or two different ways to say the same thing in a different way. For example, when I first met John, he was wearing a giant cowboy hat. I'll never forget it. Or, John was wearing his giant cowboy hat the first time I met him. I knew immediately I'd never forget him. When you use this technique, you're going to save yourself from continuously editing and rewriting your speech. This is a trap that so many guys fall into. They never truly finish writing their speech. Once you've used this technique to identify and fix any unnatural points in your speech, you're done with writing. This is one of the most important keys to success, and I'll explain why in the next section. Okay, now use the summary as your guide and read your speech out loud as many times as you need to flush out any unnatural stumbling points. In the next video, I'm going to share with you another very important mind shift that will save you time and ensure that you hit the wedding day prepared for success.